Yemenis in diaspora mark the 5th anniversary of December 2 uprising. Massam demining project dismantled thousands of Houthi landmines in different governorates. Iran continues to fuel conflicts in Yemen and target the stability of the country. Welcome to Yemen Today TV. This is the English news with me, Shazad Delbey. Yemenis in Beirut have organized a big event to mark the 5th anniversary of December 2 uprising. The event was attended by Yemenis and Arab political figures. This report has more details.
5 years after his death, the martyr leader Ali Abdullah Saleh is still the most present in the conscience of Yemenis. On December 2nd of each year, Yemenis at home and abroad commemorate the uprising announced by President Saleh in the face of the terrorist Houthi militia. The Forum for Advancement and Progress revived the occasion in the Lebanese capital, Beirut, with a rhetorical event under the slogan of the martyrs of the country most honorable among us, the martyr Ali Abdullah Saleh and his companion Al-Amin, who were martyred on the 4th of December after the chaos of the year 2011. At the opening of the event, in which Arab and national personalities participated, Brigadier General Yahya Saleh, member of the General Committee of the General People's Congress, affirmed adherence to the goals and gains of the revolution in the Republic and serious work to rid Yemenis of the tragic situation in which they live. He called for the need to move the prisoners' file and work to release all prisoners according to the principle of all for all. The absolute belief that Yemen accommodates everyone, away from foreign agendas and reactionary hands messing with Yemen and the region.
في كلمتي حددت إنه ضروري من العودة إلى الحكمة.
It is necessary to return to wisdom, conduct national reconciliation in these conflicts and create a culture of peaceful circulation of democracy. Now, all those in charge of ruling the country are illegitimate. They weren't selected by the citizens, but rather they have imposed themselves by force. We will remain in spiral as long as the people fail to achieve their goals and regain freedom, independence and democracy.
Yemen and the Arab nation lost with the death of the leader Ali Abdullah Saleh, one of the men who had a prominent role in advocating all Arab issues and resisting the Israeli occupation. Attorney Bushra El-Khalil, the lawyer of the late President Saddam Hussein, gave a speech on the occasion pointing to what was distinguished by the leader Ali Abdullah Saleh in terms of virtuous and leadership qualities towards all Arab countries for Arab and national responsibility.
On the same line, the GPC party branch organized a big event to mark the 5th anniversary of December 2 uprising. The event was attended by the Speaker of the Parliament and family members of late leader Ali Abdullah Saleh and his companion Arif Az-Zouka. This report has more details.
The 2nd of December that topped the scene, a scene in which there were many who remember the greatness of this day, represented by the uprising against the priesthood of Marran, the soldiers of Iran in the country. A scene remembering the virtues of the heroes who were murdered while they were defending the Republic of Yemen that gathered all the spectra of the Yemeni people. The speech festival on the 5th anniversary of the December 2nd uprising and the martyrdom of the leader Ali Abdullah Saleh and his companion, the Secretary Arif Awad Az-Zouka, and their commanders were hosted by the Embassy of the Republic of Yemen in Cairo. Attended by a number of officials, parliamentary and political figures, party leadership and members of the diplomatic corps, including Abdulaziz Jubari, Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, Sheikh Ahmed Saleh Al-Aisi, Deputy Director of the Office of the Presidency of the Republic of the Economic Affairs, and a number of leaders of the General People's Conference Party and women leaders, as well as a number of the Yemeni community in Cairo. The festival started with verses from the Holy Quran and the national anthem of the Republic of Yemen, and the national anthem also of the Arab Republic of Egypt. At the festival, Professor Jamal Al-Himyari gave a speech about organizing the committee, this event, expressing the greatness of this historic occasion that came in sensitive circumstances after all the efforts and attempts with the Houthi militia had been exhausted. the son of the martyr leader Madian Ali Abdullah Saleh, gave a speech expressing the greatness of the exploits that the martyr Saleh immortalized with his companion Arif Awad al-Zoka by presenting their pure souls as one offering for the sake of homeland.
I
greet the leaders of the GPC party, members of political parties and the audience. On behalf of the family of Martyr Ali Abdullah Saleh and all the righteous martyrs, to commemorate this great painful memory in which we lost two great leaders, Ali Abdullah Saleh and the GPC secretary Arif al-Zoka, as well as the righteous martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the sake of the homeland. Thanks for the Arab Republic of Egypt, represented by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. On this day, 5 years ago, the leader Ali Abdullah Saleh and Arif al-Zoka sacrificed their lives historically for the sake of Yemen, and the two glorious revolutions of September the 26th and October 14th, after a fragmentation came from ancient times, forcefully imposed these ideas, beliefs on our society and our Islamic nation. Weapons to restore imamate rule again in light of great popular rejection.
The martyr's son Awad Arif al-Zoka delivered a speech in which he recalled the heroic accomplishment of the two martyrs, which were represented on his solemn day on December 2nd, to fight the darkness and the dynastic priesthood and its militias, calling on everyone to stand side by side to confront this brutal group that has overwhelmed the country.
I thank the organizers of this event to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the glorious December the 2nd uprising. December the 2nd revolution was an inevitable necessity for the sake of the national interest because of the disastrous and irresponsible practices carried out by the Iranian-backed Houthi militia. On this occasion, we call on all national forces to avoid disagreements, settle small and narrow scores, and stand together for the sake of the Republic of Yemen.
The festival emphasizes the importance of this national day, in which the martyr leader Saleh called to stand up to militias that tempered and caused disorder, to preserve the revolution, unity and the gains of the homeland.
Head of the PLC Rashad Al-Alimi headed part of the cabinet session. In the meeting, he urged the government to redouble efforts between its concerned authorities and mobilize the necessary resources to serve the battle of the Yemenis in order to restore state institutions and end the Houthi coup. Massam announced the removal of more than 5,000 mines in November. Massam Operations added that in the past month, the project's teams removed more than 3,000 unexploded ordnance and 79 explosive devices. The statement indicated that Massam's engineering team removed more than 900 anti-tank mines and 217 anti-personnel mines in the same period. A child was injured due to Houthi mine explosion in Hodeidah. The Yemeni Land Mine Observatory confirmed that the child was injured as a result of the explosion of an anti-vehicle mine. This comes 4 days after the killing of two brothers and the injury of a girl who was injured in a similar mine explosion in Ma'rib.
أنا خارج ألعب قهوة أصحابي وهو الرمو علينا إن إحنا لو نرمو قعلي أصحابي صاروا يدعوا أصحاب المخيم بزين يصرحوا شايفين. صعب إنه معيش إنه رق أقضيش ألعب مع أصحابي أو قد آخر ألعب بالليل.
اصلا الولد ما بذنبه اي حاجه، ولما يشوف اصحابه يلعبوا هما برجل واحده يتعقد الولد الحركات والزمان. هذا اثر علينا كلنا، الوالده والوالد.
كنت عاده نروح المصيف، كنت العب كوره واجري برجلي والعب مع اصحابي، بعدين ابي صغير والان ما اقدرش.
Iran fueled conflicts in Yemen over the years. Confirmed reports indicate that Tehran was involved in the killing of the former president, Ali Abdullah Saleh, back in December 4, 2017. This report has more details.
Hidden Iranian hands are revealed every day in targeting Yemen and making the country unstable in order to facilitate control over it by planting gangs alien to Yemeni thought and history to which it owes allegiance and implements its crazy desires in the region. On December 4, 2017, Iran directed its arms to liquidate a symbol of the Arab and Islamic nations, the martyr leader Ali Abdullah Saleh. And at that time, Iran described its crime as a hidden favor of God. Mouthpiece for the mullah situation in Iran praised the criminal operation, describing President Saleh and the supporters of the popular uprising that came in response to his call as enemies. Iran has always counted on the fact that removing President Saleh from the Yemeni political scene will contribute to strengthening its influence inside Yemen and its tendency to expand the scope of its adoption of the strategy of the proxy war across Yemeni territories, which prompted it to liquidate President Ali Abdullah Saleh by any means. According to the intelligence information, the murdered Qasem Soleimani issued his directives to the Iranian experts who were and still are in Sana'a. And they are the ones managing the war and the conflict to carry out the operation to liquidate Saleh through the criminal arm represented by the Houthi militia, which cannot undertake such an operation without a green light from Tehran. The book The Shadow Leader also revealed the Houthis militia's absolute dependence on the mullah's regime in Iran, their close association with the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, and the Houthi leaders' loyalty to the orders issued to them from Tehran. All these facts and others confirm beyond any doubt that the Houthis were and still are mere tools of the Tehran regime and a demolition tool to destroy Yemen and turn it into a proxy war arena, and that their destructive political, social, or sectarian approach comes within this framework. President Ali Abdullah Saleh has always been an impenetrable wall in front of the militias of the Yemeni state and society, the nationalizations of curricula, education, the public office of the state, and the Iranian project in Yemen, which made the mullahs of Tehran direct their Houthi tools to liquidate the leader Ali Abdullah Saleh months before the outbreak of the December 2nd uprising.
Coming next in the news. World Bank provides extra funding to Yemen to tackle food crisis in the country.
ناس ندي ماء من الغيل والغيلة بعيد، كنا ندي بالدواب نعبي ماء وترجعنا. كنا ننزل الساعة 5 رجعنا الساعة 9.
ما يجي لنا ظهر لأنه زحمة ما حد يخلي الجهل يغرف وإحنا تعبنا زيادة.
وكنت أحس صدري يوجعني وعز قدرك ركبي يوجعيني.
كنا ما نستخدم حتى نغسل أولادنا إلا يعني بأيام معدودة.
كنت أغيب على المدرسة لأن كنت أروح الديمة.
حتى وإن كان يجي الأمطار تروح هدر لأنه ما في معي خزانة.
الوقت نشتري ب30,000 دي معها استهلاك ما يغلقش معها الشهر.
بس راح تطلب الله ولا أي حاجة، عاملة كل شغلك على الماء.
Welcome back. The American Navy announced they intercepted a shipment of Iranian arms that was meant for the Houthis. This is not the first time Iran is being involved in smuggling arms to Yemen. This report has more details.
Iran has set up a network of smuggling routes through Oman and the Arabian and Red Seas in order to transport arms and equipment to the Houthi rebels in Yemen. This has included anything from small arms to cruise missiles, loitering munitions, and even ballistic missiles. The fact that these continue to reach Yemen in spite of a naval blockade in place is a proof to Iran's skill in arms trafficking. The US accused Iran of trying to smuggle more than 1 million rounds of ammunition and rocket components to Yemen after a major weapons bust at sea. According to a US official, an American warship hauled 50 tons of weaponry from a fishing trawler on a key maritime smuggling route used by Tehran. Vice Admiral Brad Cooper, commander of US Naval Forces Central Command, stated that this significant banning clearly shows that Iran's unlawful transfer of lethal aid and destabilizing behavior continues. U.S. naval forces remain focused on deterring and disrupting dangerous and irresponsible maritime activity in the region. A search party that boarded during routine checks found more than 1 million rounds of 7.62mm ammunition, 25,000 rounds of 12.7mm ammunition, nearly 7,000 proximity fuses for rockets, and over 2,100 kilograms of propellant used to launch rocket-propelled grenades. Tehran has for years helped to train and arm the Houthi rebel group, which controls about one-third of Yemen, including the capital Sana'a. The group has made repeated pushes to capture the oil-rich Ma'rib district. The Fifth Fleet intercepted a fishing vessel illegally shipping weapons from Iran to Yemen on November 8. A week-long search assisted by Navy explosive ordnance disposal technicians discovered more than 70 tons of chemicals that are commonly used to make rocket and missile fuel as well as explosives. U.S. forces also found more than 100 tons of urea fertilizer, a chemical component with agricultural applications that is also known for use as an explosive compound.
The UNDP launched a project which indicates the inclusion of persons living with disabilities. The project came to enhance equality and leaving no one behind. The project was facilitated by Seoul, and Education Office developed standards, operating procedures, and database and mental support inclusion. A Kuwaiti charity association opened 2 housing units projects in Taiz and Lahj. This came to house the displaced in a campaign that was launched on November 20 and will continue until December 5. National Team for Planning held a meeting in Aden to follow up of the national plan for the implementation of Women Agenda. The meeting discussed the report of the activities, events, and programs implemented in the year 2022. In the meeting, representatives of government agencies and civil society organizations presented their observations on the plan with a number of observations. David Grassley had a discussion with Saudi Ambassador and UN Assistant Secretary for Humanitarian Affairs in Riyadh. The meeting discussed ways to support Yemen's economy, infrastructure, and completing the humanitarian response. UN Assistant Secretary General stated that she is grateful for the commitment to the Yemeni people. The World Bank announced new funding to help tackle the food crisis in Yemen. As the conflict extends, Yemenis continue to suffer food shortages nationwide. This report has more details.
The World Bank approved an additional $150 million grant for the second phase of the Yemen Food Insecurity Response and Resilience Project. The new funding is designed to address food insecurity, strengthen resilience, and protect livelihoods in Yemen. It is aligned with the overall World Bank strategy to support countries as they navigate crises while making progress on longer-term development objectives. The grant will focus on agricultural production and climate-resilient restoration of productive assets to protect livelihoods, scale up household-level food production, and domestic food distribution using a combination of short and medium-term, and prioritize areas where food insecurity and malnutrition are chronic. Yemen's protracted conflict has exacerbated food insecurity, with an estimated 19 million people needing assistance as of August 2022, representing about 60% of the population. Between August 2021 and August 2022, the price of the minimum food basket increased by 65% in the south and 31% in the north, according to the latest WFP monthly food security update. The project will be implemented countrywide by the Food and Agriculture Organization, the United Nations Development Programme, and the International Committee of the Red Cross, working alongside local partners. The grant is aligned with the World Bank Group's strategy for conflict and violence, which focuses on remaining engaged in active conflict situations to support the most vulnerable communities and critical institutions. It is also aligned with the World Bank's Global Crisis Response Framework, as it contributes to crucial objectives of responding to food insecurity and strengthening resilience.
نزحنا لهنا بسبب المشاكل، بسبب الحرب، بسبب الخوف. بلادنا ما فيش أمان، كله خوف مشاكل، لا معاشات لا كروتات لا أي حاجة. على منزح نتنقل ما عندنا حاجة. وضعنا صعب، يعني نحن نعاني مبلغ كل يوم بيومه، من اليوم أجزع اليوم صاير لبكرة، لفعل بكرة، يعني أنا أدبر رزق عيالي غدوة، من الصعب إنني أرقد وأني آمنة على عيالي. الطفل ما هو داري ما عند أمه ولا عند أبوه، ما هو داري بكلمة مابش. لما توفر لنا السلة أقدر أشتغل وأريح على نفسي وأريح على عيالي وأدخل صرفة عيالي، أدخل قعالتهم، أدخل الخسارة حقهم، يعني نصبح براحة بأمن وأمان، يعني تطمن تعيش وأنت مرتاح.
Here is a reminder of the main headlines. Yemenis in diaspora mark the 5th anniversary of December 2 uprising. Massam demining project dismantled thousands of Houthi landmines in different governorates. Iran continues to fuel conflicts in Yemen and target the stability of the country. This is the end of the news. Thank you for watching.